Guys, I just wanted to make a video to make it really simple for you to choose layers and different colours. We're going to try and keep these layers and colours the same across all subjects and all teachers so that there's no confusion when you're chopping between classes. So if you've designed up a lid for your box or another project, or you've watched another video and maybe it's an older video and the layers aren't the same, you can change the layers now to suit the settings that I show you in this video, and hopefully it's quite clear and simple. So for a start, anything we cut, we're going to now make it green to begin with. So at the moment it's black because that's the default layer when I start drawing. If I left click and I select it, I can now make it green. I'd like to make the green layer a cut layer. If for whatever reason it came up as a scan layer, what I could do is I could just double click on it and I could come down here to the processing mode and I can change between scan, cut and dot. I haven't used dot yet, so I'm not too sure what it does. I've only used cut and scan. So we want it to be a cut layer. The settings I'm using here for speed and power are the settings for the smaller laser up in MYI. So depending on what laser you're using, you just need to consult the chart that's on the wall next to the laser, and the settings there will help you out in regards to the machine you're using. What's common amongst all of them is that as a default, when you enter them, the computer will have two laser heads selected. We've only got one on our machine, so we're going to deselect that, and we're going to make sure that the minimum power and maximum power are of the same value. So it does say min and max. Not too sure why it has a min and max, but our suppliers told us just to put the same value in both boxes. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to click OK. So I now know that anything that is green is related to this cut layer here. I've got some text here at the moment, and when you put your text in for the first time, it might come up as black. What you would do is you would select it and make sure that it is blue, and you're going to assign blue to scanning, which means that it's going to scan in that image for you and it won't cut out the shape, which is good. Now whenever I put an image in, so I'll put in this image, it will come up with a layer that says BMP, and it's defaulted to scan. So it's going to scan in that image, and just to avoid confusion for some of the younger students, if we have a look here, the values that have been placed in for the scanning, this is an older file that I've used, are in relation to our bigger laser. So I'm going to quickly change that so this will work on our smaller laser. So we need a bit more power, and we're going to go half the speed, so 250 millimeters a second. Whatever I'm scanning, if that's my scan setting to do the text, my BMP is going to require the same setting for the machine. So I'll put in the same setting. So when you're looking for the settings, don't necessarily consult this video. Consult the poster that you see on the wall next to your machine, or consult Teams in regards to this. So this is an older poster, but we'll have new ones made up that will say if it's the 35 watt laser in MYI or if it's the 80 watt laser in SY4. So you'll see different settings here that you can use. This poster is for our larger machine. Coming back to RDworks now. So now I have a green layer for cut. This is going to be a scan, and these two items will be a scan. I can now take a look at what that's going to look like by clicking on the preview button. So I'm pretty happy with that. If I wanted to trick the computer a little bit and use text but not fill it in, or use another image and only do the outline and not fill it in, there's a way I can do that. Now, what I will do is, if I grab that, and we're going to make it a new color, and we'll go for brown, this brown here, and so I've got a new layer here and it says cut. I don't want it to cut at the same rate as my green because it's going to cut the whole way through, but if I put in the same value as a scan, so in this case I'm scanning at 250 25%, what will happen is, and if you remember from the preview we just saw, when I went to preview, the laser filled in all this text here. By tricking the machine a little bit and telling it to cut, but not giving it enough, not slowing it down enough and not giving it enough power to actually cut the whole way through, it will engrave the outline of that shape. So let's have a look on our preview. So at the moment I've got green, it's going to cut the whole way through, and then this one is just going to zip its way around and engrave the outline of that text. You can click on simulate and it will show you where the laser head is going to go and in what direction. So you can see here it's going to do my cut, and it must be coming back to do my scan, or my second cut over here once it does the outline. I did that very quick too. And so blink and you'll miss it for that last part of the simulation. So it must be back here. Oh, hang on, that must be my speed. Oh yeah. Okay. So after it's done the tracking here, you can see how slow it's going for a cut. It's going to speed its way through here, and it's just going to go around the perimeter here and won't cut the whole way through, but it will give us the outline for that text. If I escape out of that, if I click on this and I change it back to my original scan that I wanted to do, I'll go to preview, you can see the difference, especially if I do the simulation on it. Oh, hang on. Hopefully it comes back around and does the scan afterwards. It should. Yeah, there you go. So it's going to scan in that text. So there's two different ways of doing text, or you can also use that same trick of what I had before with creating the brown layer. You can use that on intricate shapes and vectors so that it doesn't try to fill in the shape, it will trace its way around. So that's pretty much all the different layers and different colors that we will ever be using and how to input the values, guys. I hope this video helps you out.